We only filed 15 cases.
That's percentage. Percentage
You're already withering away. Oh, wait, this is competition? Yeah.
Today. Turn your thing on. What'd you say, Willis?
Not much.
Good morning. It is now 10 a.m. on January 6, 2026, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court is in session. Today's invocation pledge will be led by myself. Please rise. Lord, thank you for this new year, this new beginning, this opportunity for us to serve and do thy will. We are excited about the opportunities to serve this incredible county that we all share. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Well, good morning and Happy New Year. It is good to see everybody. Today, the first agenda item, number 2, call for citizen input. Today we have 3 folks speaking today. First up, Kathy Veens. Ms. Veens, good to see you again. Please state your name, the precinct you reside in.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Happy New Year. Glad to be here. We missed you. Kathy Veens, Precinct 4. My focus has always been money. I'm not an accountant. I don't have a finance degree, but the amount of money that goes through this court is astounding to me, and I think it is to the public as well. Everybody I've ever spoken to cannot believe the numbers that come out of this court. And so I'm always focused or trying to focus on how we spend that money, because it's not the court's money, of course, it's the taxpayers' money. And so to that point, I would like to point out to the public who's listening online or watching later, we've spent $2.1 million biweekly in salaries. Does not include benefits. That's a big government. I don't know how you control that kind of thing. It seems like a number that's larger than most people would expect. In today's budget, in the amendments, there's grant money being used. I don't know. I'm retired, so I don't know what the standard for income and paying people is, but we're paying graduate students $40 an hour. We're paying their supervisors $70 an hour out of grant money, and grant money's sometimes, I think, taken as free money, and so we spend it without the same critical eye that we do when we open our checkbooks and pay our own bills. And so I just would like to bring that to the attention that I notice these things, and I think a lot of other people are noticing these things, and the election is at hand, and some of you are running for office, and we just would like some accountability and transparency, and for you to understand that we want our money spent wisely. I think the community money contracts are a couple $1 million that we spend, in addition to the people that contribute to these things individually and personally. My last thing has nothing to do with money. It's about the agendas. I know that the court now releases the payment of claims information, but I would ask that the court unredact those payment of claims. I feel like it's public information, and we have a right to see that information. Other than the employees, I understand the employee names and so forth, but everything else should be made public. Thank you.
Ms. Veens, thank you so much. Next, the court calls Cindy Wiley. Ms. Wiley, thank you for being here. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Good morning. Precinct 1. Is the mic on? I have a reminder. Whoa. The next Tuesday, the 13th, is the True Texas Project Candidate Forum at the VFW in Bryan, starting at 5:30. We encourage any voters to join us, as well as all the candidates for breaking bread and fellowship prior to the start. Attending will be candidates running for County Judge, District Clerk, Court at Law Number 2, JP3, and GOP chairs. In 2023, I asked Judge Peters why we did not vote in our precincts. He said countywide polling program was supposed to increase voter turnout by being convenient to vote anywhere. So naturally, I asked if he had analyzed whether that was true. He said no. He had not verified if that was true. I believe the Commissioner's Court felt justified, but I have not seen any data corroborating the countywide polling program alone increases voter participation. The allegations of precinct voting, hand marking ballots, and hand counting ballots being way too expensive versus the millions that have been and continue to be distributed to electronic voting system vendors for repairs, maintenance, licensing fees, upgrades, and updates to software, firmware, hardware, programming issues, storage facility costs, labor costs to move, set up, and retrieve electronic voting systems should be fairly and honestly reviewed. China manufactures commercial off-the-shelf parts that are installed in these electronic voting systems, but no one is allowed to inspect the components inside for unauthorized parts except the seller of the electronic voting system. I'm still looking at approximately 200 ghost voters that show on the voting history for November 2024, yet do not show on Brazos October 2024 voter roll and the GOP data center, which comes from the Secretary of State voter roll. Some show on the Secretary of State, but not on the county, and vice versa. I care just as much about your vote being counted as I do mine. The most powerful nonviolent tool we the people have is our vote. That is why it has been the #1 targeted weapon of those that want to take our civil liberties away from Americans. It is imperative that our elected commissioners and acting county judge, finally, with all the data out there, admit that these electronic voting systems are untrustworthy tools coexisting in a very hackable world, benefiting some who are determined to select those who, quote unquote, represent us. Quote, they, unquote, select whom we know we did not elect, therefore subverting the will of the people. Last month, our own emergency management department was hacked. Almost every day, we hear stories of election fraudsters flipping, hiding, canceling, destroying legitimate votes that either were or were not casted. Apathy is real. 1 out of every 7 voters registered showed up to vote in November. Please protect the secrecy of each ballot by returning our county to precinct voting. Return the people's right to detect and punish fraud, as stated in our Texas Constitution. Invest in the people to run our elections and stop spending taxpayer money on machines and vendors that are not part of our community. Thank you for your attention.
Ms. Wiley, thank you so much. The court now calls Michelle Hall. Ms. Hall, thank you for being here this morning. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
I'm in Precinct 1. I am the county chair of the Brazos County Democratic Party, and I introduced you to myself at the last meeting, but I wanted to introduce you to Susan Scott. Susan, would you stand up? Susan Scott and I will be working the elections together. I wanted to read, which kind of piggybacks on the previous speaker, the public notice of the test of the automatic tabulating equipment. I think it's very important to work the local elections and to attend the different offerings where you can go see how things work in this county. And this is one of the first things. It's next Tuesday, January 13th. This was online on Brazos Votes. Notice is hereby given that the automatic tabulating equipment that will be used in the Democratic and Republican primary elections held on March 3rd, 2026, will be tested on Tuesday, January 13th, 2026 at 5:30 at the Brazos County Election Administrator's Office, 300 East William J. Bryan Parkway, Suite 100, Bryan, Texas. And this is what's key, to ascertain that it will accurately count the votes cast for all offices on all measures. I've done this twice, I think, and there are representatives from both parties. We cast test ballots in the equipment that is actually going to be used on voting day. We take those ballots and we go into the rooms, and the whole tallying process is done to make sure that how the votes were cast is how the votes were counted. There is a public area. Anyone can come. I've seen 2 gentlemen there. So I encourage everyone to go. If you have concerns about how the voting process works in Brazos County, participate, be an election worker, learn to be a judge or an alternate judge, show up to these different things, early voting ballot boards. There are some strict processes where people from representing both parties are in attendance. We have a great process. And I want to say one last thing. We just had a very successful fundraiser last month. We have gone from 4 to over 20 precinct chairs in the last 6 or 7 months. 4, maybe 5 of them are Aggie students. So when the election results begin to change in Brazos County, it won't be because of ballot fraud. It is because the momentum is shifting and we're growing. Thank you.
Ms. Hall, thank you so much. Moving to agenda item number 3, presentations and/or discussions. Introduction of Kaylin Cavazos, 4-H Program Assistant by Ashley Sugg, County Extension 4-H, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Services, Brazos County. Looks like we have Mr. Caperton, Extension Agent. Thank you for being here
Chad
today,
Caperton, County Extension Agent for Ag and Natural Resources at Brazos County, Precinct 1. Ashley had wanted to be here this morning, but she has responsibilities for 4-H families, picking up broilers for the major shows, so that's what she's doing this morning. She was disappointed, but I think she will be able to watch online. So let me make this introduction. We're excited to welcome Kaylin Cavazos as our new program assistant for the 4-H program. Kaylin is finishing her final semester in agricultural leadership and development at Texas A&M University and brings a strong passion for youth development, leadership, and agriculture. She comes to us highly recommended by her co-workers from Texas 4-H Roundup this past summer. In her role, Kaylin will be working alongside our staff to grow our program and expand the reach of our office to our 4-H members, families, and volunteers to support county programs, events, and day-to-day operations. We are excited to have her on board and look forward to the energy, perspective, and dedication she will bring to Brazos County.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the introduction, and I am very grateful to be here.
Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, welcome,
Thank
Kaylin.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
We're
much.
glad to have you on the team.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Look forward to seeing you at the different events. I'll
Yes.
always try to attend.
Perfect. That sounds great.
Chad, we have one more presentation,
Yes.
don't we? We have a presentation of certificate to our Wanda J. Watson from the V.G. Young Institute of County Government as part of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service Commissioners Court Leadership Academy, Class 11, Session 2. Oh,
Thank you for having us.
thank you for being here.
I'm Stephen Brugerhoff, horticulture agent serving Brazos County in the Brazos Valley region, Precinct 1. To the community members of Brazos County and the Brazos County Commissioners Court, for more than 50 years, the V.G. Young Institute of County Government has served local governments in Texas. Since 2005, the Institute, a part of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, has offered the Commissioners Court Leadership Academy to further enhance professionalism, broaden the knowledge, and enrich the experience of county judges and commissioners in Texas. CCLA involves 4 sessions over a 2-year period, 3 3-day sessions in Texas counties, and 1 7-day session in Washington, D.C. Presentations, workshops, discussions, and networking opportunities during the sessions guide participants through complex leadership topics. Topics are carefully selected and developed to be timely and relevant to county judges and commissioners. On behalf of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service and the Brazos County Extension Office, we congratulate Commissioner Wanda Watson on successfully completing 15 hours of educational training during the Commissioners Court Leadership Academy Class 11, Session 2. Thank you very much, Commissioner Watson. We'd like to present you with this certificate.
Okay, I need to.
And I believe most of the agents are here to help with that.
Apparently.
What? Yeah.
We'll stand behind.
Big reminder, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're behind a tall guy. All right.
Trying not to get the mic in there. Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, Commissioner Watson. Thank you for your service.
Thank you once again.
Thanks, Steve.
Moving to agenda item number 4, proclamation 26-001 proclaiming January 24th through March 20th, 2026 as Brazos County Walk Across Texas 2026.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion before I read the proclamation? There being none, Brazos County Walk Across Texas 2026 proclamation, whereas it is never too late to start an active lifestyle, no matter one's age, current fitness level, or length of an activity. Research consistently shows that beginning a more active lifestyle through regular, moderate physical activity can improve overall health and quality of life. And whereas regular physical activity reduces the risk of coronary heart disease, the nation's leading cause of death, and lowers the risk of stroke, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and high blood pressure. And whereas regular physical activity helps control weight, strengthens bones, muscle, and joints, improves mental well-being by reducing symptoms of anxiety and depression, and is associated with fewer hospitalizations, physical physician visits, and medications. And whereas people of all ages benefit from participating in regular physical activity, such as at least 30 minutes of brisk walking on most days of the week. And whereas Walk Across Texas is an 8-week physical activity program designed to increase physical activity levels through friendly competition, goal setting, and group support, encouraging both adults and youth to build lifelong healthy habits. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Kyle Cassell, acting Brazos County Judge, do hereby proclaim January 24th to March 20th, 2026, as 8 weeks of fun and fitness, and urge all Brazos County citizens to participate and Walk Across Texas and increase their physical activity for improved health and well-being. Signed January 6, 2026 by myself and the 4 commissioners sitting to my right and left.
We have some folks.
And I think we have a presentation. Good morning.
Good morning to our judge, our honorable acting judge, to our commissioners, and to everyone present. I'm Flora Williams, the Family and Community Health Extension Agent here in Brazos County, and I have some of the Walk Across Texas Task Force members with me. So we want to thank you. This is the 30th year that Walk Across Texas has taken place. Brazos County has been fortunate for the last 29 years to be a part of Walk Across Texas, and I have been fortunate to be here 14 years and oversee it 14 years to keep the program going. So this is one of the solutions that Texas A&M AgriLife Extension has to increase physical activities among the citizens. So we want to always thank you for your support. As you said, it's going to kick off, and we want to encourage everybody to be a part of it. We do happen to have the largest Walk Across Texas event in the state of Texas, and we want to keep that going. Last year we had 312 teams, so we will have a county league. So when you see that email come out for the county employees, we encourage you to join that league, and then just all the citizens as well. But mark your calendars. We're going to kick it off January 24th. We're going to go all the way through March 20th. Teams of 8, get your teams together. Report your miles, commit to doing at least 2 miles a day, or 40 minutes of physical activity a day, and then you'll reach that 832 miles across Texas. So thank you again for your support.
800 miles per person?
No, it's 800, so you're definitely an overachiever if you do that. But if each person on the team commits to at least 2 miles a day, you will get that 832 miles, which is the distance across Texas. So, and then as always, I thank the task force. They do an awesome job each year planning it. We have members, some from the university, some from the system. We have representatives from local gyms, from St. Joseph Health. So we have a really good task force that we have put together who plans this event each year, this challenge each year. So thank y'all as well.
Well, I see Michael is here, but he didn't get up.
Yeah, Michael. So Michael is a part of works for the state part of Walk Across Texas. We're the boots on the ground here, but Mike does advise, and he puts the program together and does all the research and all that good stuff.
It works. Before he started doing that, he looked just like me. And look at him now.
He still looks like a kid to me.
Well, Flora, thank you so much. We're going to come down and take a picture with you in the resolution.
Okay.
I think we just push them all. Everybody?
Oh, we're going to change it. Okay. So I need a team of 8? Okay, I've got 4. I'm looking for 3. We're gonna put the sheriff on. You're on team Commissioner 4. Jarvis and Earl. There we go, we got a team. Aubrey's not gonna let me.
Yeah.
Okay. So agenda item number 4, the proclamation for Walk Across Texas. We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 5. Approval of the appointment of Wayne Dickey to the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial Board. Term of appointment is January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2028.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a race for second. We'll give it to Commissioner Brown.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any discussion?
You know, with Wayne, you get Vicky, so.
It's a win.
Yeah, I've no doubt Wayne will do a great job, and if he doesn't, well, then he's gonna deal with Vicky, so.
He was hanging on to every word. He wanted to know how long this term was, till 2028. Wayne, thank you.
Organization doing great things in our community, good people to work with. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for
You'll fit right
willing
in.
to serve. Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 6, approval of the following appointments to the Brazos County Emergency Services District. Number 1, with term of appointment of January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2027. A, Jim Jones, B, Carlisle Frazier, and C, Morrissey Day III.
Move to approve A
Second.
through C.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
Now, these are really dedicated individuals that give up their time to go and conduct these meetings. This is their second term, and I think it's Carlisle's third term. And they've all volunteered to do it again. So they're doing some great things down there for Emergency Services District 1.
Thank you, Commissioner Nettles. Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. A little trickier. Agenda item number 7, approval of the following appointments to the Brazos County Emergency Services District, ESD number 2, with term appointment of January 1, 2026, December 31st, 2027.
Move approval.
No, for items number B, removing A, removing C. So items B, D, and E, Lloyd Scasta, Eddie Lero, and Scott Fraley.
Move for approval, B, D, and E.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
This was, just so y'all know, A and C, Dan Wilkerson and Joe Mateka have asked not to be reappointed. This was actually just a misprint that they were on there. I want to, as Commissioner for Precinct 2, which contains ESD 2, I want to thank Dan Wilkerson and Joe Mateka for their years of service to the ESD, and welcome in. We have 2 new members, Eddie Lero, Scott Fraley, and then reappointing Lloyd Scasta. That's what this is by approving B, D, and E.
So you don't need to add 2 more people?
No, ma'am, there were only 3 up,
Okay,
and these 3 are the 3 that should be, that are up for reappointment, Lloyd Scasta, Eddie Lero, and Scott Fraley.
okay,
Joe Mateka and Dan Wilkerson do not wish to be reappointed, and so their terms would end.
okay,
All clear?
yes.
Commissioners, any further discussion on ESD 2? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 8, approval of the appointment of Ray Thomas to the Brazos County Emergency Services District, ESD number 4, with term appointment of January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2027.
Move approval?
Second.
We have motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
Nothing, I just want to, ditto what Bentley said about the hard work that these folks do for the county in terms of the service that they provide.
Very good point. We are very appreciative of all those that serve on our ESDs.
Yes, right.
Ray is a fine gentleman as well.
Right.
Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 9 has been pulled by the public defender.
Move for approval?
No,
Yep, it's been pulled.
It's
Been
been
pulled.
Oh, it's been
Pulled from
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
agenda. I'm sorry, I'll be very much
I
clearer.
looked off into the heavens.
Moving to agenda item number 10, approval of appointment of Jim James to the Brazos County Public Defender's Office Oversight Board with a term of December 5th, 2025 through August 15th, 2027.
Move to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on the appointment of Jim James?
Yeah, I know Jim James personally. He is an outstanding attorney, has
Yes.
served both on the prosecutorial side and on the defendant side here in Brazos County for almost 40 years. I don't see him, I may be wrong, but he is thankfully someone who I never had to face across the table from, but he is an outstanding attorney, and I'm sure he will add to this board.
I agree, because I'm on the board.
Jim is a fine gentleman. Commissioners, any further discussion on agenda item number 10, the appointment of Jim James? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 11, approval requested for acceptance of the grant award for the Specialty Court, Adult Drug Court for fiscal year 26.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Watson. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 12, approval requested for acceptance of the grant award of the Specialty Court Mental Health Court for fiscal year 26.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 13, request authorization to wire transfer up to $151,935.96 to Health and Human Services Commission for the federal fiscal year 2026 graduate medical education program for the benefit of participating hospitals using funding from the Brazos County Local Provider Participation Fund.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
Judge, I just want to say, this is a pass-through.
Yes,
Budget
Commissioner Brown,
neutral
thank
item.
you.
Yep.
Budget neutral. Commissioner Collins, thank you for that. Commissioners, any further discussions or notes? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 14, approval of expenditure journal entry for Brazos County's first quarter contribution to the Brazos County Health District for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $119,507.25. This is a budgeted expense for the support of the Health District in fiscal year 25-26.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Condrela. Commissioners, any discussion?
You know, the only concern I have, and it's not really a concern, is I noticed the cooperative agreement was signed by Judge Sims, and I'm sure it's one of these evergreen contracts that we just renew every year. I think we should consider at some point a policy that once a decade, we look at renewing these things to see if we can't put things more favorable to our county in it.
Excellent point. Thank you, Commissioner Nettles. Commissioners, any further discussion on agenda item number 14? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 15, request from Budget Office to create the following position effective January 10th, 2026, under the Specialty Court Mental Health Court Grant.
Move for, go ahead.
Move to approve.
A. Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on agenda item number 15?
So I think this is innovative work by the judges and the county court administrators over there. They're splitting the cost between these two courts in order to provide full functionality for both of them. So I encourage this kind of work on their behalf.
Thank you, Commissioner Nettles. Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 16, approval of change order number 1 to CIP 25-565, construction manager at risk for building maintenance for Brazos County Expo Complex with Spa Glass Construction.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? Commissioner Brown.
Judge, I just, if we really want to be transparent, I would request that in the future, anytime that we award a contract to somebody that we have backup material that shows the bid sheets and who all bid on those projects. So,
Duly noted. Thank you.
yes, sir.
Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 17, request approval for the final plat of Merritt House subdivision, lots 1 and 2, block 1, 4.043 acres. PDS survey, abstract 105, Brazos County, Texas. Site is located in precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on the final plat? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Bless you. Moving to agenda item
My chair is rocking.
number 18, consider and take action on the Brazos Wi-Fi utility permit to construct 2 road bores under Foxtel Court located within Foxtel Estates subdivision. Site is located in precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on the utility permit? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 19, consider and take action on the Brazos Wi-Fi utility permit to construct 2 road bores under Wagon Wheel Road located within Saddlebrook subdivision. Site is located in precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on this permit? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Agenda item number 20, request for approval for the final plat of Fazino Park subdivision, 10.12 acres, lots 1 through 4, block 1, H. Mitchell survey, abstract 180, and James Curtis Jr. League survey, abstract 12, City of Bryan, ETJ, Brazos County, Texas. Site is located in precinct 4.
Move approval?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 21, approval of the Treasurer's Report for September 2025 and quarter ending September 30th, 2025.
Move for approval.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Ayes have it. Agenda item number 22, approval of requested to increase the county mileage reimbursement rate from 70 cents per mile to 7 cents and 7.25 per mile for business travel occurring on or after January 1st, 26. Did I get that correct?
Yeah.
Eventually.
72.5 cents. Is that better?
No, 7.2.
7 and a quarter.
7 and a quarter?
Yeah, that works.
We'll go with 7 and a quarter. 72.5? So approval
72.
requested to decrease the county mileage reimbursement from 70 cents to 72.5 cents per mile for business travel occurring on or after January 1st, 2026.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? Commissioner Brown?
I don't know how that reads, 7, what'd you say, 7 and a half?
7.2.
7,
Two.
7 and a half. Well, I just,
7 and a quarter, it's not 7 and a quarter? 7 and a half?
Sounds like an auction.
70 cents and a half.
72 cents
and a half.
oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to add the IRS rate is 72 and a half, and the state rate is $7.07.25.
Just trying to do it.
Is the same rate.
It's the same rate, yeah.
We're just going to call it the same rate. Thank you for that clarification. Commissioners, any further discussion on this unique number for mileage?
These are the people in charge of your budget.
What did Chuck say? What did he say?
These are people in charge of the budget.
Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of agenda item number 22 say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 23, budget amendments, fiscal year 2025-26 budget amendment 8.01-8.03.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 24, personnel changes status.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 25, payment of claims.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. We will skip over agenda item number 26 and 27. Moving to agenda item number 28, acknowledgement of the fiscal year 25-26 budget to actuals by fund as of December 17th, 2025, and acknowledgement of the fiscal year 2025-2026 contingency budget to actuals by fund as of December 17th, 2025. Agenda item number 29, monthly report from the County Attorney's Office. Mr. Gray, welcome. Thank you for being here today. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in, just for fun.
Yes, it's Earl Gray, Brazos County Attorney. Appreciate you all for having me. Hopefully you had a great holiday season, and welcome back. And so I wanted to, when I talk about the figures, we've only had one day of court this year, and so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to give you January's figures because there's not much to that right now. So I just want to give you a quick recap of what we looked at in 2025. So end of year results, total dispositions for misdemeanor cases was 11,580. The total amounts of fines and fees that were not only assessed but actually collected, actually brought in for the two county courts alone was 713,997. And so I wanted to just briefly talk about another one of my specialty programs, and that program is the mental health treatment program. And so I just wanted to hit on a couple of highlights in regards to that program. This program was designed for individuals charged with a misdemeanor, a criminal offense, who also have a mental illness. Now, it has to be a diagnosed mental illness as defined in the DSM-5. And this diagnosed mental illness, it has to have affected the actual criminal behavior in question. And so there has to be a nexus between that actual mental illness and the crime that occurred, if that makes sense. And so, what I saw over a number of years of being a criminal defense attorney, as well as being a felony prosecutor and a misdemeanor prosecutor, I felt that a program was needed in order to address these mental illness issues. And so I spent some time, went over to MHMR, spent some time with Carly, and I learned that there are two real key factors that must be met in order for these folks to be successful. The first is going to be that these folks make any and all of their necessary appointments with their mental health provider. That's incredibly important. The second thing was that they take all of their prescribed medication. And that has been an ongoing issue that we've seen for many, many years. And unbeknownst to me, there's even some of these mental illness medications, as I understand, can actually be administered with a shot. And that shot lasts for somewhere around, it's more than 30 days, up to about 45 days, I think. And so that's an added asset that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. I certainly wasn't aware of. And like I said, I had 17 years of defense, and I was not aware of that. And so how I designed this program in order to take care of those necessary factors was to go ahead and incorporate those in the program, and those are actually conditions of probation for those applicants. And so in order for them to be successful in the program, they have to successfully take care of those factors as well and make sure they're meeting with their provider and they're also taking the necessary medication. And so I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Earl, thank you so much. Commissioners, any questions for County Attorney?
Thank you so much.
Earl, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you all.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Move to agenda item number 30, monthly report from the District Attorney's Office. Jarvis Parsons. Happy New Year. Welcome and thank you.
Brevity is close to godliness.
There's so many things that are going through my mind right now. I'm going to wave off on all of those right now. I just want to update the court just a little bit about what we've been doing over the month of December, because just last time that we spoke, we were busy over the month of December. Just highlight a couple of cases. We had a double homicide that was just disposed. Jalen Bloom happened out on Silver Hill Circle, I believe, out in the northern part of Brazos County off of Highway 21. That defendant was sentenced to life in prison for that particular homicide, and that was one of the cases that was worked in the 272nd District Court by Trial Chief Jessica Eskew and Ryan Golden, one of her assistants. Garrett Mulholland was an aggravated assault, family violence, serious bodily injury, where the defendant not only strangled his wife, but also his 3-year-old child. The maximum that he could receive on that particular case under the law was 20 years, and that case received 20 years in prison for that particular case. It was particularly ruthless case where the gas was also turned on at the time, but luckily the 3-year-old child as well as the wife are both doing well now and unharmed, even after going to the Scott and White's Children's Center in Temple, Texas. The next one was a trial that happened in 361st, and the person's name was Jonathan Doyle, and it was an interesting case where the defendant came into a convenience store, and it just happened to be a person who was a teacher who was working an off-duty job in order to make more money, refused him service because he was acting weird and crazy in the particular store, refused to say, we can't serve you any more alcohol or anything like that. And the defendant went outside and then used a knife and then basically punctured the employee's tires at that time. After the victim finished his shift, went outside to change his tire, the defendant waited around, laid in wait, and essentially came in and stabbed him in the back as he was changing his tire. And then, as I say, the fight was on. The victim defended themselves, and it was a long, prolonged altercation, about 4 to 5 minutes, which if you're talking about an altercation, that is a very, very long time. The defendant came in, the trial was had in the 361st. The jury quickly convicted the defendant and then later sentenced the defendant to the maximum of 20 years in prison. The victim had to essentially be brought to the hospital, but then flown to a hospital in Houston because it ended up puncturing a lung, so they had to end up opening him up. So it was a very traumatic experience for the victim, but he was very grateful that justice was served here in Brazos County. That was one of the many cases that we had. We also had a 2-week trial that happened in December with an adult sex assault case with a defendant named Corey Gill, and this is one of the most the hardest type of cases are adult sex assault cases, simply because it is one of the, there's so many different things that come into play outside of the evidence. Many times the way that we look at relationships. This case was tried in the 272nd District Court. The defendant was convicted and sentenced to prison in that particular case. What I think is important about this is that I want to talk about some silent heroes, and that is the members of the Sex Assault Resource Center. We don't see them a whole lot because the work that they've done many times is in silence. But they were there every single day. The advocates were there every single day just to give support to the victims. They're there on phone calls. They're there for hospital accompaniments many times at the worst times of individuals' lives. And so I wanted to highlight that case because of the hard work that the prosecutors did in this particular case. But more so, but also the work of the advocates, because many times it takes a community around it to make sure that people receive justice. So not only are they heard, but they're respected during this grueling process. And so those are some of the cases that happened in December, just in December. But I want to talk about another thing that was going to be happening at the end of January. So we have done for a long time a program called the Citizens Prosecutor Academy, and it's worked really well. We've done 13 different academies, and it's been great. We are going to be doing something a little bit different, and I don't know if anybody else in the state is doing it. We are going to have what's called a DA in a Day program, and so we've worked with the African American Museum and the local NAACP, which is going to be sponsoring breakfast. But we're going to do this at the North Bryan Community Center, where we take the principles of what happens in the DA's office and truncate it down from 9 weeks to 9 o'clock in the morning to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, where you get to basically, if you can't make the Citizens Prosecutor Academy, we can do all of that in one day, where we kind of bring it on down and you talk about different things that happen in DA's office that you may not know about. So for example, one of the things that's happening today that we just approved was the grant for the mental health court. And so we're going to talk about mental health and how that affects and impacts criminal justice system. We're going to talk about juveniles and how what the juvenile system is like, and have our juvenile prosecutors come in and speak about the purpose behind the juvenile system and why it's different than the adult system. And we're going to do something a little bit different when we are dealing with this. We're going to talk about not just the times when law enforcement or prosecution gets it right, but what happens when we get it wrong. And how do we deal with those particular issues? And we're going to talk about an actual case where we worked with a particular defense attorney to make sure justice was done on a particular case where we thought that we had the right person, and then we realized later that we didn't. And it's this is why it is so important for prosecutors that we not only just get convictions, but that we make sure that justice is done. And so this is going to be something that's brand new. It's going to be on January the 31st. One of our local retired police officers, Bobby Williams, is going to be sponsoring the lunch. So lunch is going to be free at that point in time. And he's a really good cook, by the way. Just a shout out to Bobby Williams, former Bryan PD officer. But it's going to be at January 31st at the North Bryan Community Center on Houston Street. And so I'm going to have some flyers in the back. If anybody wants one, love to have it. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up on the QR code, but just to give you just a taste as to what happens in our local DA's office. So my theory is that the more people know, the more people trust what's going on in their communities. So that's all I have from us. I'll take any questions if you have any.
Mr. Parsons, thank you so much. I think we do have a question from Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Hi, Jarvis. Thank you for what you and your department do. I mean, you keep us safe and keep the bad guys off the streets. You mentioned the victim advocates. Is that a voluntary job?
It is a volunteer job. It is the SARC advocates, they get trained and they come in on nights and weekends, and they're on call essentially. So they may accompany a person to a trial. They may accompany a person to say if there's a sex assault victim and they go to the hospital in the middle of the night. A SARC advocate is called out at that point in time to sit with them during that process. If they need them for any sort of meeting or hearing, just to sit there and just be a comfort to them during that time, they do that free of charge. They also man the phones. So if somebody wants to call in, many times someone may be struggling with something that may have happened years ago, and they can call the Sex Assault Resource Center, and they can talk to a SARC advocate. And so these are men and women who give their time, many times without any sort of fanfare or anything like that, just to be a help and a guide to people in crisis.
What is SARC?
SARC is the Sex Assault Resource Center. It used to be called our local Rape Crisis Center, but they do education, they do hospital accompaniments, they do advocacy for adult sex assault victims. They basically are the companion to Scotty's House, because Scotty's House does our child abuse cases, and then SARC does our adult sex assault cases.
Commissioners, any other questions for Mr. Parsons?
Well, I participated in his DA Academy, and it was 9 long weeks, but it was one of the most, and to your point, law enforcement, what you do in terms of pursuing justice, people don't always understand, and as you probably know, sometimes community perception of what you do is not always positive. And I think that what you're trying to do is explain to the community what you do, why it's important, and why it's necessary, and try to dispel some of the rumors and the beliefs and the misperception of what it is that you do. But your academy was absolutely awesome. I had to miss one of the classes, and I was just bummed out, because at first I was kind of agonizing because it was 9 weeks, but it turned out to be, and in terms of the SARC, you actually took us on site for them to do a presentation. You took us to Scotty's house and for them to do a presentation. And I can say to you all, when you understand how sexual assault can impact people, and I thought that was, again, another way to inform the community. So I encourage anyone, when that opportunity to participate in any of the academies, haven't done the sheriff ones yet, but would participate in any of those academies, I think it is to your benefit to do that and educate yourself, because this is a wonderful resource. I am glad that you're a part of the County Commissioners Court.
Awesome.
So thank you for what you do.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Jarvis.
Jarvis, thank you so much. Agenda item number 31, monthly report from the Public Defender's Office. Nathan Wood. Nathan, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Happy New Year.
Good morning to you. Happy New Year.
As you know, one of our goals in the Public Defender's Office is expediency. And I've started to put together our quarterly numbers for October, November, and December. Some of the metrics that we look at in the Public Defender's Office are how quickly our defenders are getting to our clients for that initial interview. Because the faster we can get to them for our initial meeting, the faster we can get to prosecutors in court to try and work out the case or see what direction the case is moving in. Our grant requires that we conduct that initial interview within 10 days. And in October, we were right at 10 days, but in November and December, those initial interviews were coming at 5 work days on average. Another important metric for us is the number of days that our clients spend inside the jail pending disposition of their case. You know, the time that we have some influence over how quickly this particular case gets shoved through the system we don't have them before their arrest and we don't have them after disposition, but that window of time that we can have some influence over is an important number for us to look at. On misdemeanor cases, this quarter we averaged about 22 and a half days. And so what that means is that our defenders are getting cases resolved with the county attorney's office through plea negotiations most of the time in 22 and a half days. Now, I don't have access to data that compares us to the private bar on retained cases, and I don't have access to data that compares us to the private bar on appointed cases, but I can tell you just anecdotally that 22 and a half days in the criminal justice system is moving at light speed. For felony cases, obviously, felony cases are the consequences are more dire for our clients, but even there, we're moving pretty quickly. For the cases that we disposed of this quarter, in October, our clients spent an average of 105 days in jail pending disposition of their case. In November, that number was cut to 48, and in December, December we always see a little bit of a slowdown because of the holidays, but our clients, for cases that we resolved in December, our clients spent about 200 days in jail pending disposition. So even there, we're moving quickly. We are moving quickly to get these cases resolved. The goals that we have in mind are to get the best outcomes as we can for our clients, obviously, but by moving quickly, we can also reduce the total number of jail days that our clients spend in jail, save the county a little bit of money, while we're also doing good, zealous work for people that are caught up in the criminal justice system. So I would love to take any questions that you might have at this time.
Nathan, thank you. Commissioners, any questions?
No.
Great job.
I will say
Thank you,
this,
Nathan.
good hires over the last couple months, and more importantly, thank you and your team for working in a cramped environment. If you hadn't been through the Public Defender's Office, Commissioners, I recommend you take a tour over the next few days, and if
we would love to
you're
have you.
concerned about any of the construction going on around here, walk through his office and you'll understand why.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. Agenda item number 32, announcements of interest and items of possible future agenda topics. Before I turn it over to the commissioners, our own emergency management guru, Jason Ware, is here and would like to make an announcement. Jason, thank you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jason Ware, Emergency Management Coordinator for Brazos County. Our drought numbers are not too high. However, that does not reflect the fact that the grasses have cured because of recent freezes, and our local fire departments, along with the surrounding counties, have been dealing with a number of wildland fires, grass fires, and most of them were due to controlled burns that are getting out of hand. One of the things that I would ask is that if you're going to burn, make sure you pay attention to it, but also keep in mind that the weather affects how those controlled burns act. So when we get these cool fronts or these cold fronts, then it drops the humidity, the winds tend to increase, and we have an issue. So even though the drought numbers don't necessarily reflect a drought condition, the grasses are cured due to the recent freeze that we had, and a grass fire can start very easily right now. So I would ask that you use caution. I will tell you that there is some discussion amongst the fire chiefs of the ESDs about a possible burn ban in the future. We're not quite there yet, but that could come up
We're on the cusp.
soon. All
Let's
right.
hope we get that rain on Friday.
Pray for rain, yes. Thank you.
Jason, thank you so much. Commissioner Nettles.
You know, there's a trend I would really like to see us to work on breaking in 2026. Every single day, there's fatality on Texas highways. So with all the construction that's going to be going on Highway 6, take a little extra time to leave earlier, be careful. Let's try to break that trend this year.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Conderla.
No, thanks.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes, sir. I know we have a study that will be back at some time in the near future, but my concern is that I'd like to know all the property that we own in Brazos County. And in that light, I'm sure there's property that we don't need. It's just sitting there that we're paying insurance on, we're paying to maintain, and we'll need to have the discussion at some point. Do we need to keep it in inventory, or do we need to put it on the market and sell it? So,
excellent point. Thank you, Commissioner Brown. Commissioner Watson.
No, I don't have anything.
No announcements today. My only announcement is Happy New Year. Thank you all for what you do. It was a blessing to spend the holidays at the county annex. Thank you for your hard work when there was a skeleton crew here. With that, we'll move to agenda item number 26 to convene an executive session. I believe we are only going to make a motion on A or C.
That'd be
On
Judge.
item A, so.
And I have rendered an opinion that it would be detrimental for the court to discuss this item in open court, and I'd ask that the court take a vote, it be unanimous in order to go into executive.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion on moving into executive session first, so agenda item number 26, to convene into executive session pursuant to the following for A only. We will pull B and C.
Second. You made a motion.
I guess I did make a motion. We have motion second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Also, we need a motion to discuss this matter in private, 5-0, correct? Or did that suffice?
That suffices.
Okay. If Aubrey's good, I'm good. So at this time, it's 10:59. Brazos County Commissioners Court will convene an executive session. Missed the white noise. Aubrey, Ed, Trevor, Charles, Nina, and Marcy.
Remember how
That was quick on the draw.
I mean, it just, if I'm moving.
Just to me like, what do you mean second?
feeling a lot better today? My dad was in hospital for 2 weeks with pneumonia, and we had this thing, and he's like, why am I not getting better? I'm like, dude, you're 80 years old. It's gonna take 20-something days. He just can't get it through his.
You said he's still there?
Well, he's, but he thinks he's not, but his vitals, everything's better. Oops, I'm sorry. Are we ready? We'll start again. It's now 11:08 and Brazos County Commissioners Court is out of executive session. Agenda item number 27 is not needed. There's no action to exercise at this time. Commissioners, any further discussion or comments before we adjourn today on January 6, 2026? There being none, it is now 11:08 and the Brazos County Commissioners Court is adjourned.